Happy Friday morning to everyone out there. Landon here with you in the driver's seat, bringing you your latest weather and night forecast, courtesy of On Target. Hope you all had a damp and breezy but fun and safe Halloween out there. The good news is we're getting the rain out of here this morning. Much needed rainfall, might I add. And the cold front's taking that along with it. Now, we do have some low clouds that are hanging out here across portions of the region. Those will be scouring out as we work throughout the day with northerly winds building in here behind that front. We're going to be looking at temperatures much closer or actually just below average for this time of year. This is going to be all thanks to this area of high pressure that's building in here behind this cold front. So the front's going to shift off here to the east. You can see some low-level clouds still hanging out here across the region. But this high pressure is going to result in northerly wind flow here throughout the day. That is what is going to be bringing those temperatures down for us. Let's get a glance across the region, shall we? We'll start off looking over the D93 Skycam in downtown Bowling Green. I'll be joining Tony Rose and company down there in that direction. You can still see some of the low-hanging cloud cover that is out there early this morning. We got some fog that is present as well with the lingering moisture rolling along right along and behind that cold front, all right? But looking off to our north and west, Beechtree News Skycam overlooking Morgantown, we have got clear skies over in that direction, and that has allowed for some temperatures to tank here throughout the overnight hours. We are a far cry from what we were this time yesterday. We were right around the 70-degree mark. We're all the way down between the upper 40s and lower 50s early this morning. We're going to be looking at high temperatures this afternoon. It's going to be hanging out right around the mid, perhaps upper 60s for some of us. But folks, look off to our north and west. You can see the colder temperatures over here well down into the low and mid 40s. That's coming along with the winds that we have looked at that's already turning out of the north now behind the cold front. Those winds will be of the magnitude of 5 to 15 miles an hour here as we work throughout the day. Maybe a few gusts will get stronger and exceed that. But that is what is going to be bringing in that much more comfortable air mass than the exceptionally warm conditions we've been dealing with, readings up to right around the 80-degree mark here over the past few days. This gives you a better idea of how the surface map is unfolding. That cold front, folks, is going to get well south of the region, but it's going to hang up, and then it's actually going to lift back to the north as a warm front as we work throughout the weekend, bringing a return of those above average temperatures, unfortunately. So let's jump right into it, folks. We have a semi-active weather pattern that's going to be following throughout the early days of next week. But throughout this weekend, we're going to have to deal with a little more than alternating temperature changes. You can see here working throughout today into tonight, high pressure to our north is going to keep temperatures much more comfortable. However, as we work throughout the weekend, that area of high pressure will shift to our east. And folks, here we're looking at Sunday afternoon and evening, and you see that little light brush of some precipitation. We might get in on an isolated or widely scattered shower activity for a short period there in the Sunday time frame. However, the big weather story is going to be with the warm front lifting to our north, southerly winds taking over. We're going to experience a steady warming trend throughout the weekend. We should have more sunshine on Saturday, but with the warm front lifting north over the region, as we're seeing here in the Sunday into Sunday afternoon, more moisture is going to result in definitely more cloud cover and a few of those hit and miss showers to boot. We're going to roll throughout our Monday. It's going to be very similar to Sunday with high pressure trying to keep the precipitation just to the north and west of the region, right along and just north of the Ohio River. But folks, take a look as we work into our Tuesday morning, all right? This is going to be our next weather maker that we're keeping our eyes on. We are well locked into the warm sector. We are south of the warm front. We are east of the cold front with a deep southerly flow, bringing in that moisture out of the Gulf of Mexico. As this cold front plows eastward, as we work throughout our Tuesday and into our Wednesday, widespread rain showers, some rumbles of thunder is going to be coming along with that. Not seeing anything overly concerning in regards to severe weather. This is a typical fall-like setup where we have very high levels of shear in the atmosphere, but very low levels of instability, okay? We could deal with some pretty strong winds out of this, but the thunder and lightning will be mitigated, much like what we saw with the little system that brought those damp and not ideal conditions throughout the entirety of our Halloween, all right? So taking a look here at the latest temperature swings, our short-term model guidance places highs this afternoon, going to be right around the low and mid 60s pretty much region-wide. Throughout the overnight, lows will tank down anywhere between the upper 30s to lower 40s. And then by Saturday afternoon, folks, I think guidance is underdoing this a bit. We've talked about this a lot, folks, with the southwesterly flow. Models are not great at handling that. And with the light southerly winds taking over throughout our Saturday and Sunday, I think we're going to see readings right around this time frame, Saturday afternoon. Guidance is suggesting mid and upper 60s. I think we're going to be closer to the low in mid 70s, and by the time we roll into Sunday into Monday, folks, with the warm front getting north over the region, we're going to be right back up to around that 80-degree mark. After we get past that weather maker, we look to go to a more quieter, subtle pattern, and unfortunately, looking at the latest climate prediction here over the next 2 weeks, we got a pretty good probability of experiencing temperatures above average for this time of year. And in combination with that, again, folks, after Tuesday into Wednesday of next week, we look to get into a drier pattern yet again that's going to try to work in here, right? So that kind of splits the difference. It puts us right in the middle of the threshold there on the precipitation department. So warmer than average for this time of year. We might have a few systems come through and impact us, but not anything overly exerting. Folks, we were talking about this over the past few weeks. The latest drought monitor was released yesterday morning before the rain showers arrived here, and we have got abnormally dry conditions that is taking back over the vast majority of the Commonwealth. The exception there is the northern tier of our Wobbles community here. But with that being said, I think those will be mitigated, folks, due to what we experienced yesterday. And take a look. Total rainfall amounts here over the past day or so, sitting right around 1/2 inch for many of us out there. And as we look forward into the Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday time frame of next week, we could be looking at an additional 1/2 inch up to inch of total precipitation before this is active pattern tries to wrap up. Here's a full 6-day forecast breakdown brought to you by Ohio Valley Insurance. We're going to have cloud cover decreasing. It's going to be with us this morning, but northerly winds will create cooler conditions despite more sunshine taking over. Highs settling between the mid and upper 60s, low and mid 70s for your Saturday. It'll be partly sunny and beautiful. Clouds thickening up Sunday into Monday with an isolated shower chance not being ruled out, with highs up to around the 80-degree mark. Tuesday, we're going to be looking at more rain showers, a few rumbles of thunder taking over with the passing of the next cold front that's in the foreseeable future. Those will continue to linger into Wednesday, but you will note behind that passing cold front, going to bring that temperature pendulum swinging back the other way with highs trapped right back down between the low and mid 60s. Folks, it's going to wrap up your Friday morning, November 1st edition of your Weather or Not forecast presented by On Target. You all take care of yourselves and each other. Have a